Hi, welcome to part 5 of Project Jonas. It's been a little while since I gave you an update, so let's start off and let's get this done. In this episode, I'm going to be doing some machining, and I will be starting to carve out the body, routing, whatever, manual routing, stuff like that. I don't have this base on CNC, not the body anyway. I will make templates on the CNC, but not the body, It's too precious. It's precious. Anyway, let's go and see what has been done. Shall we? Let's go. Oops! Spoiler! Looks a bit odd, doesn't it? Is it a forest? A forest of clamps? Forest clamp? Anyway, no. What's going on here is the drop top is getting glued onto the front of this piece of the body. Okay, there's three pieces to the body, and as we go along you'll see how it all fits. But when I got the wood delivered, the wood was very moist, of course, to stop it warping. So I flattened the drop top wood and dried it out, but it's still puckered. As you can see here, it's kind of warpy, So what I did was, to flatten it out, was I glued the face of the black limber here to stick the olive to it, and of course it rocks around. So you put brad nails wherever you know the body shape there, but the brad nails I'm putting into both the drop top and the black limber in such places that it will, one, secure for clamping, and two, be cut out anyway when you're cutting out the shape of the body. And then I got all the clamps I could and really sandwiched it between two pieces of black limber here. One is the actual base, the other one's gonna be part of the base. The wood's gonna get planed anyway after the drop top's on, so I'm not too bothered about tiny little scratches and stuff here and there, so that's not bad. So everything gets clamped to hell. And with this, because the wood this part was kinda the most warped, because of that, I'm going to leave it clamped for about between 4 and 6 hours. You only really need to clamp with Type Bond Ultimate for a couple of hours, but I'm going to leave this until, well, today there's Formula 1 on, so I want to watch the Formula 1, So after today's a sprint shootout and the sprint race, and this is the day today that Max Verstappen is going to be world champion for the 3rd time. So I'd like to watch that, and well, something weird might happen, but you never know. And then after that, I can unclamp that and do the other side. And then by tomorrow, the whole body will be ready to be glued together completely. Of course, I'll have to trim all the edges, joint the edges and stuff to make sure it's all nice and flat, but it's cool. It's going to be good. Okay folks, nice flat surface of my workbench here, and I have double-sided taped the fingerboard to the bench because I'm going to take tool marks out of it now. This has been pre-radiused to 16 inches on the CNC machine, and I'm taking my 16-inch radius block here with 320 grit sandpaper on it to start with, and I'm gonna get this tool marks out. I'll eventually take it down to 800 grit, and then we'll kind of give it a couple of coats of oil before starting to install the frets. Now, when you install the frets, it might be blocked in there, so let me just look this tool out here. I'll use this Hosco little fret saw, 0.4 millimeters, so it gets in there pretty good because it's 0.5 millimeter the slot, and you just clear out the fret slots like that without adding to the depth. So yeah, so steady, very steady. Start off at the end, yeah, and just go along it. Try just to go one direction so it's nice and straight, and this will get all the tool marks out of it. See, your 320 grit's doing quite a good job of that. You can come back if you're confident enough, like this. Just try and keep it absolutely centre all the time as you're going. You can see that. So yeah, you just get a cloth and you take all that stuff off every like 9 or 10 strokes. You can also use compressed air to get rid of all the crap that's in there. As you can see, the tool marks are starting to come out. Now I'll do this maybe for about half an hour to get it absolutely radiused the way I want, and then we'll be good to go with that. So yes indeed, let me just keep my Hosco out here and get rid of all this crap that I just took out, and yeah, we're ready to start some sanding and get this fingerboard absolutely figured to perfection. Yes indeed. Okay, so we have sanded this down using the radius block. It's all messy with ebony, to 320 grit. Look at the state of my hands, man. Ebony powders up very finely when you sand it. Anyway, we're down to 320 now, and most of the tool marks are out, but not all of them. Why? Why are they not all out? Well, the reason for that is when I go to attach the fingerboard to the neck here, and you can see that nice, hopefully you see that nice bird's eye maple veneer on there, the wood still needs to settle. When I glue this and clamp it, then remove the clamps after maybe a day, then it will need to sit about a week just to see how it beds in, and then if I'm happy with it, I'll go ahead and finish off the radiusing, shaping the neck down to final specification, all that good stuff. But you know, it's come out quite well so far. You know, it looks very nice. I really do like this type of fingerboard. I've only ever made 2 other bases with Macassar ebony, but I do like it. This is the darkest they had. What's that? Can I spit on this? Here we go. Yeah, so yeah, this is the darkest and least stripy they had, which my customer Jerome requested. Least stripy and darkest. So yeah, and I can darken that even more if he wishes. But it feels good and it looks really good. The abalone dot inlays really catch the light there. You can see it catching the light stuff when you put light over it. They really they kind of sparkle. They're beautiful. So yeah, onwards and upwards. I'm still waiting on all my clamps. All my clamps are in use. I don't know if you can see right back there. The second part of the body that I'm putting the drop top on is curing right now. That'll be ready to unclamp in a couple of hours, and when that's done, this is getting attached, and we will have an assembled neck but not a completed neck. Cool. Nice. Just taking all the lips off the boards here that will make up the body. Yeah. Okay, let's go and do the next one. Okay, everything planed and everything down to size. Drop top is on. Took some off the top of the drop top. Did get little chips coming out. I expected that. That's not a problem. It gets filled anyway with a clear epoxy before going on to the next step. Once everything's glued up. So, next step is to just glue all this together and clamp it and let it sit for maybe 12 hours under clamped, maybe a whole day. I think I might go the whole day. There is slight irregularities in the thickness of the drop top and I didn't want to plane it anymore, so I'll just flat sand the rest. That won't be an issue. Takes a little more time of course, but I can get this nice and even. Okay, time to start gluing. Hello. Yes, so with the body blank all glued up and clamped together and sitting there overnight, it's time to marry this piece to this piece. And as you see, I've put some blue painter's tape on here because I'm going to be putting glue all over here and I don't want the glue getting into the truss rod pocket there. It's no worries concerning the carbon fibre rods because they are actually should be structurally part of the neck, whereas you want the truss rod to sort of flex and bend and push and pull, so that happens there. Now I do use Titebond Ultimate for my fingerboards. Some people use the regular stuff, some people of course use fish glue, which is probably easier to steam off, but I haven't found it as stable, although that is a staple of the Luthier usage. Now what is this? Can you tell? Yes, it's ordinary table salt. Now why do I have this? Well, when I put the glue on here, the surface is going to be pretty slick and I don't like indexing the neck with tacks, you know, if I have to. So what I'll be doing is I'll sprinkle the salt on after I put the glue on, and then I'll just place the neck like that and I'll find it much harder to move around. The salt will dissolve in the glue, so there's no problems, and it won't leave voids either in the glue. So let's go ahead and do this. I am going to be spreading glue with my pinky, believe it or not, instead of an old credit card or a piece of cardboard or anything like that. So let's get the glue ready. Let's put some glue on here, shall we? Yes, indeed. Let's just put a line here. That's quite a lot. I'll maybe be taking some of that off. And a line here. That's good. Okay, now using pink, and have some shop towels prepared here. I'm going to push it and clear off the sides as I'm going. And of course, remember the neck is not into its final dimension yet. And there you go. And pull it in towards the centre from the edge. That's probably the best way to go. I find it easiest anyway. Use the pinky. Of course, this angle I can't do that. This is for demonstration purposes, although it is the production model. So just to be careful, that's all. So all you need is to be careful. And we'll swipe that over the tape as well, even, you know, because we're going to peel this tape up after you've spread the glue evenly. and you get a nice good long working time with this, typically 10 to 15 minutes, so it's not a problem at all. And just fill in all these little gaps and voids that we've got forming here. And of course, don't worry about squeeze out at all. Now I can take one of these and just wipe off my hand, and I'm going to look at it, and this I can flick off to the outside. You don't want to be doing too much of that, because you don't want to rub the glue into the wood, then it's going to be hard to finish the wood, if you know what I mean. Okay, now I see some bare spots there, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually sit and let this glue level for about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, and then we'll come back and I'll show you actually the salt procedure. Okay, so I'm going to sit that, let that level, figure out where I need to maybe add or subtract glue, and we'll be back shortly. Okay, the glue has leveled out and it looks fairly even to me. Nice, and it'll get even more even once I clamp it. Now, clamping a neck doesn't require too much pressure, because all the pieces should be very flat anyway to start with. So I see this is starting to curl up a little bit. That's good, actually. So here's what we're going to do. Get some of this table salt and just sprinkle a few grains on, that's all. Just very lightly. That's all you need. And then we're going to place this as accurately as we can to start with. It's pretty damn accurate. There's that there. See, it's having difficulty moving now because of this salt. See, I'm going to lift it and look at the coverage. That's not bad. Now I'm going to take tape and voila, get rid of this. Oh, that stuff sticks like hell. Here we go. Okay, and back again. So it's got some on this side too. There you go. That's it. Just a little bit more that way. Okay, press it a little bit. And I'm just putting very slight, even pressure on it. And see, it's not really moving, and that's probably needs to come this way a little bit. That needs to come that way a little bit. And we're pretty good there. This needs to come up the way actually. That's it. Feel that. That's also good. There we go. That's it in place, and it's ready to be clamped. And use clamps that have, you know, nice pads on them like this, so that they don't mark the wood. And we'll go heel first, make sure it's even, and then down and light clamping. Just very lightly. You want this in position, and you want to be able to move it around if it gets out of position. And down this side as well. And I'm using shorter clamps for this job. Now you see that sliding around, but not as much as it would be sliding around if I didn't have the salt on there. So I'm going to lay it like that, centre it up, and again lightly clamp it, because I don't want to finalise it right now. Make sure it's in place. There you go. Now if you do index it with pins, it's much easier, but I just don't like doing that. Okay, now I can hold this where it needs to be. Give that a few twists and turns, and now I can stand it up like this. and inspect it. Now remember, I've got 10-15 minutes to work with this. That's looking really good. There we go. And again, this side. And we're all good there too. Now the neck is slightly oversized right now. I've got to run out, squeeze out here. That's okay, that'll go away because the neck is slightly oversized to the fingerboard, which is always a good move. And from now on, it's just a question of getting more clamps. So, here we go. Put one right slap bang in the middle of the neck. Just back off a bit here. Actually, I should back off a lot and give myself some relief from this clamp. Yeah. Make sure it's in the middle. Yeah. Just move that up very slightly. And move up to about here. There we go. Nice even pressure. Not too much because you want some adjustability still. Now there's a lip here and not a lip under here, so I need to move this. There we go. That's why you don't want too much pressure, so you can loosen off and adjust while you're clamping. There we go. It still needs to move slightly, so I'll loosen this and I'll loosen that. And just move that into place. There we go. Again, not too tight. And with this one, I'm going to loosen that again and bring it out very slightly because that's not central. Okay, don't worry about the squeeze out. You will be scraping that or just peeling that off with a knife actually. And feel this end, it's pretty good. Slacken it off, just adjust it a little bit and put it back on. Here we go. Now I can tighten that. That's perfect. Okay, that's the procedure. Now I'm going to go and do the rest. Put the other clamps on, we should be good to go. Cool. Okay folks, thanks again for what. Oh look, my nice new t-shirt. Yes, indeed, lovely, eh? Yeah, thanks again for watching. Fantastic episode. I had a few personal issues with family members during this episode. I hope you'll bear with me, and you know, if you like the stuff I'm doing on the channel, please subscribe if you haven't already done so, of course. Yeah, give me a thumbs up and click that bell thing. That will give you notification of when I next upload the garbage you're watching. So yeah, anyway, till the next time, please stay safe, be good, see you later. Thanks for watching. Cheers folks, bye bye.